Hello everyone! Empress Eevee here, and not too long ago I put out a poll. I wanted to see if you lovely Eevees wanted to learn how to make homemade paper slash bookbind, and you lovely Eevees wanted to know how. So I'm really happy. Oh my gosh, I'm not good at these kind of recordings yet. uh, but I am happy in here to show you lovely Evie's house. It is such a fun uh hobby to do. Like, let me get my paper as an example. Uh, you can use you can make colored paper. Um, oh come on, give me a piece of paper. Not that one. That one needs. There we go. You can use cardboard, and you can also use just straight up paper. So that one got a little bit of cardboard in it. I have quite a lot still. I need to turn into books. Here's an example of my bookbinding. This one is a book that I just haven't put any covers on yet, which I will be showing you lovely Eevees how to. Two different ways. Same with the bookbinding. There's two different ways I'll be teaching you lovely Eevees. One will be with stitching and one will be without stitching. So just in case if you have the materials or don't. Oh, here's one with the covers I recently made. This one has really pretty paper I made. I used some Pearl-X powder for the pink with some pink ink. So it has like this really pretty pink shimmer to it. It's so pretty. And I have some blue. Oh, I don't know if you see that on the camera. This one has like a shade of blue. I used blue ink, and it's kind of bluey, more like a grayish blue. Oh, I still think it came out pretty. And yes, it's not. It's not an Eevee thing unless there's some kind of rainbow. And if you don't want to make your own paper, you can easily do this with just regular paper that you have at home. I made this one with some leftover papers I have from some scrap stuff. Okay, so this is going to probably be a kind of a longish series since TikTok only lets me record and post 10-minute videos at a time. So I'll be uploading this individually in 10-minute increments. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. But I hope you lovely Eevees enjoy these videos because it lets me nerd out about art stuff. and I love seeing you lovely Eevees enjoy it. So okay, for your future me, cut this out. Okay, so for your things you're gonna need, I will post a list right here. You're going to need paper, cardboard, whatever material you're gonna use. Like I said, you can use anything that can break down, like recyclable, not recyclable, but well, yeah, recyclable, but I forget the word. Biodegradable, you know. Um, if you have recycled paper already made, you can recycle that. I've done that before. Like I said, paper, cardboard, cardstock, colored paper. If you use colored paper, the dye from the paper will come out, and it will dye everything. So be careful. Let's see. You'll need You'll either need to rip it apart or shred it through a paper shredder. That's what I use. Unless it's cardboard, and I just tear it up by hand while watching a TV show or something. You'll need either a blender, a pestle and mortar, which is, let me grab mine, which is one of these. Mine's currently purple because I was using it to crush up pigments to make homemade paint, which if you lovely Eevees want to see, I will make a video. Just let me know down in the comments down below. Oh, I also heard of this method. You can also use a bottle, like a plastic bottle, throw your paper in it, and put a rock in it, and just shake it up. Just anything that you can use to grind it up into a pulp. You'll also need something to soak the paper. Because once you shred it, you're going to need to soak it for... Depends on what material you're using. If it's just paper, you can soak it for like an hour or two. If it's cardboard, you're probably going to need to soak it overnight to soften it up. Let's see, what's it called? A decal, which is, I'll be showing it in, a little bit. And then you're also going to be needing a sponge and a container to put all your water in. At least I'm going to have a whole list. Did I say a strainer? You're gonna need a strainer. And that should be it. If I missed anything, future me, post it here. But without further ado, let's get started. It's finally a sunny day, so I can actually do this. Let me see. Let's see. You want it to be about this size. So you want it pretty small. Enough to fit in the blender if you're using a blender. Or just small enough. Oh, also the finer your pulp becomes, which is what we blended it up into, the smoother your paper is. Well, not smoother, but like less splotchy. Okay, hold on. So like this red paper, it has white specks and all that. That's because when I made that, I didn't have my blender at the time. Now when I made my cardboard and white paper, there's no specks. That's because I had my blender at the time. So the more you blend it, the more smoother it looks. Now also, when you get your decal, which I'll be showing here in a minute, depending how large the holes of your mesh is, will also decide how smooth it looks, because larger mesh will make like an imprint. So the one I use is it's a little small. Once we get done doing the paper making part, I'll be doing I guess a second part, or however many parts this video is going to be. Depending on TikTok. I will show you lovely Eevees how to do the bookbinding, which is super fun and relaxing. Yeah, okay, so we're going to take our paper after it's been shredded, cut up. We are going to put it in a container and let it soak. So I'm just using regular paper. This feels not that thick, so I could probably leave it for like an hour or two. And yeah, so just pour your paper into a container and pour enough water to where it covers it, and just store it away somewhere. Like I said, don't be afraid if you forget about it and you come back to it like the next day. It's fine, and at least it'll be softer, Like I said, just an hour to 24 hours. Whatever you choose, as long as it's soft enough to blend up into a pulp and not ruin your blender or whatever material you're using. Like, I have a bigger blender, and I also have this tiny blender I got from, it was oh, it's charged. A hand-me-down store. Oh, okay, come on. I'll fix that later. Alright, I'll see you lovely Eevees after it's done soaking. Boy. And we're back. Okay, it's been a couple of hours. I have let my paper soak. Since mine is just paper, I let it set for a good 2-3 hours. So now you want to grab your blender. I'm using a mini one just for show. I do have a bigger one that I use. Just figured my tiny one would be easier to record. It's just a mini battery charged one that I found at the dollar store. Do note, if you use a blender, don't use it for food again. Keep it strictly for art, because you don't want to, stick food in there, and it's not food safety anymore. Alright, and now let me grab my paper. So I'm only going to do this demonstration once, because then I'm going to grab the rest of my paper and throw it in the big blender. Alright. So what you do is just throw some water and, oh, hang on, let me swap this. That's just a bunch of recycled paper, and it's pretty soaked looking. Now you can reuse the water. That's what I like to do. I just dunk it in there. Well, except for this one. This one's my battery one. Don't want it fried. I just dumped some water into it. Hopefully I am not... hang on. I'm doing this like right by my computer, and I don't want it fried with water. So, I'll be right back. Alright, and I'm back. I just went and did it off screen, so I didn't spill it. See, now depending on how powerful your blender is, you might only want to put a little bit of pulp and more water. Whichever way, it doesn't matter, as long as you get a good pulp. Now I'm gonna put the lid on and give it a couple spins. I'm just gonna do that because my computer's back there. It's not too strong of a blender. And you want to keep going. Give it a... Hold on one second, and needs more water. Alright, added more water. Blend this up. Oops. I'll blend it up some more. I said earlier, you want to have a fine pulp. Let's see, the more blended it is, the less speckled it gets. Now, sometimes you won't be able to get all the specks out, which is okay, because it kind of shows like that it's a recycled, aesthetic style, if you're into that. If not, I mean, you can always dye your pulp a single color. You just have fun with it. I'm just gonna keep blending it. That's why I don't use this blender. It's not as strong as my big old blender. But this pulp should do. You just want to have like a really fine consistency. So like that. Something real fine. Now it's on my finger. Oh, if you Eevees don't like your hands being dried out, I do recommend wearing gloves. This project will definitely dry your hands out. I'm always having to put lotion on afterwards. But if you don't care, then go for it. Unless you have an allergy, I don't think you'll have a problem with touching it. Excuse me. Alright, now that that's blended, I'm going to go ahead and blend up the rest of mine. Well, actually, first, before I do, you Eevees want to grab a, another container. Hold on, I have another container. If I can get it without knocking everything over. Now I do have a container, and if you're going to be using your pulp right away, then you can skip this step, but if you're not and you want to store it, get a strainer and just dump it through. You want to get, not all the water, but just a little bit to keep it moist. And storing wise, keep it in like an airtight box or container like this and keep it somewhere cold because it will get kind of funky after a while if you don't use it right away. But other than that, yeah. Alright, let me go ahead and, so I'm not going to be using this right away. I'll probably be doing the paper processing tomorrow since it's getting kind of late where I am. And I'm recording inside because of it. So I'm going to be making the rest and then I will be doing that. Okay, yeah. Now I'll be right back. And we're back. Hello everyone. Okay, so now we're outside. And don't mind the lawnmower in the back. My neighbors decided that they were going to mow the lawn today. But I have now blended up all the pulp. So this should be the consistency you're looking for. It might, like I said earlier in the video, if you used a pestle and mortar or the bottle with a rock, it might have a different consistency, which is alright. Also, my cats are meowing. So you might hear them in the background. Swirls, kitty, kitty, kitty. Alright, so for the next part, you're going to need a decal and mold. I made mine out of 2 old canvases. I just tore the canvas part off. Also, I'm sorry if you can't, like, it's all zoomed in. I have a tiny table outside. All I did was just take the canvas part off, grab some mesh, and I just stapled it. Just wrapped it, stapled it. And I took another one so I can put it on top and just bloop. And you'll need, let's see if I can do this, a container full of water. Also, that's me. Hi. Hi. Now let me just adjust. So you'll need a container full of water, at least enough to cover your decal twice over, I'd say. I have a small decal. My big one unfortunately molded because wood. It happens. So yeah, keep that in mind if you use a wooden one. You can buy them online if you want, like metal ones and stuff. But I always like making my stuff from scratch. So here we are. You're also going to need a sponge so you can soak up the water from it, which you'll see in a minute, and some cloth. I used old bandanas. You should preferably get ones that are cotton. It sticks better to it once we get to that part. I just cut up some, and yeah, I just have a bunch. Now, out of this whole process, I'd say this is the tricky part, I'd say. It's not really hard, it's more tedious, but this art form project, whatever you want to call it, it is more forgiving. So if you do mess up, don't be afraid. You can always just start over, try again. And you want to put one of your cloths down like so. So after we dunk it and all that, you're going to want to just place it there. That's where the sponge comes in. Alright, so now for the water part, we'll move over here. And we're going to grab roughly like 2 handfuls, and we're just gonna do this in the water with it. Give it a good stir, get the slurry, the slush, the pulp. There we go, that's the word. Get the pulp moving. So you want to do about 1 to 2 good handfuls. Just get it going. That's why I say it's a good summer, springtime activity. Anyone can do it. It's fun. Time consuming, yes, but it's fun. Keeps you cool down. Ooh, it's like a white. Huh. I'm gonna move you guys back over here. Okay, is that a good? Yeah. Okay. Oh. 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna take our decal and mold. You want to have the mesh side up. My silly self always put that side down by accident. It doesn't really matter which side you have your mold up. I just do it this way. So you can put it on top, like so. Just give it one more good swirl. Put your decal in like this. Shift your decal like that and just pull straight up. And now let the water drain. This might take it a few seconds. But as the water drains, you can see how your paper is forming, which is always a fun thing to see. Alright. So just gonna tip it a little bit. There's my paper. Now if you mess up, you can always just flip back over and just rinse your thing off and try again. Alright, now just lift straight up with your mold. And voila! There's your paper. Now it's still wet. So what we're going to do is place that there. Just going to leave that right there for now. We're going to come back. Alright, now we're going to come back over here. Grab our mold with the, or decal with the paper. And we're just going to, because mine's small, so I'm just going to, I can see past the camera. There we go. Place it down firmly. Now you're going to take your sponge. Ooh, this one's going to be spotted. That's going to be cool. And just press firmly. And try to soak up as much of the water as you can. Oh. And you can just pour the water back into your little tub. Now this is going to probably have a wrinkle, which is fine. Nothing is, oh wait, I can probably pull this out a little bit more. Just be careful, you don't want to ruin the pulp, which I think I might have. But that's fine, that is fine with me. It's a relaxing art. If I really didn't like it, I'd just start over, just dunk it back into the thing. But I kind of like the imperfections. It shows, you know, that it's handmade, it's homemade paper. And apparently, I just got a notification that Grandpa Mick has got some chickens. Grandpappy getting into that foam and laugh. Alright. So, it looks like I got the majority of it. Oh my gosh, kitty fur. It's that time of year the cats are shedding. It's everywhere. Now this is the tricky part I was talking about. Let me see if I can move my chair. So, place the camera like so. And now you're gonna wanna, oh my gosh, I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I have to hold it with my legs. You wanna peel away the paper, so you want to get to stick to the bandana. Sometimes it won't, that's alright, just go back in with your sponge, do what I'm doing, and I'm pressing with my finger firmly on it. And you just lift, and voila! And there's your paper. Oh yeah, I kind of messed up right there. See if I can, no, that's alright. I can always just cut it down the middle right there, make it like a little sticky note or something. That'd be cute. If you Eevees want to see that, just leave a comment down below. Alright, and I went ahead and did another one. So now that you little Eevees got your paper going on the sheet, now you want to go and hang it up. You can hang it up inside. It might take a little longer. Today is a nice sunny hot day, so I'm going to be hanging mine up outside. If you hang it outside and it's really hot like mine, and it's slightly breezy. It would dry in no time. If you hang it up inside, make sure it's in a nice, cool, dry area. And probably leave it overnight. And you should be able to have paper. Once it dries, we'll do a peeling and I'll show you lovely Eevees. But for now, I'm going to try to use as much of this as I can. I made quite a lot. So it should probably make roughly a book or two. Now, once we have all our papers, I forgot to add, if it's looking a little thin, don't be afraid to put more pulp into your bin of water. It'll add, more. For every like 3 to 4 pieces of paper I make, I like to throw in another handful. Also, if it's not wanting to peel right, like say you're trying to peel from this top part, try a different angle. Sometimes you can pull from, camera. 10 out of 10 camera work. Sometimes, you can try this way or this way, and make sure you're holding your sheet of not paper, but sheet of, cloth when you're pulling up. It'll help as well. As you see, this one's a little on the thin side, so I'll be adding more pulp.